when I try to communicate my needs, my partner would say that I am being too fussy or making a fuss, and that he has been with other less complicated women. Very likely they were less complicated, basic, simple, a bit like him, right? Those women lack boundaries. If they acknowledge their needs, they might have to communicate those needs, and it's very likely that they didn't practice this in childhood. They didn't feel seen, heard, witnessed, or there wasn't a safe space to communicate those needs. And as a result, reject oneself and their needs. It's through that there is this belief that begins to build around, well, if I make my needs known, that this person is not going to like it, to like me. So acknowledging that you have needs, you have to step out of this people-pleasing pattern, which many women have. If you're with a people pleaser, it's very likely that they don't acknowledge their own needs and therefore unable to acknowledge yours, and it works both ways. Going back to childhood, if you didn't learn what it meant to have needs, if it wasn't safe for you to have needs, then you don't learn how to communicate those in relationship. So depending on whether or not you acknowledge that you have needs will depend on how deep, how intimate the connection itself is. If you don't bring these things up, or if you reject them entirely, you will then find yourself in partnership with people who reflect this belief back to you. People who were not seen, witnessed as children will attract other partners who are not seen, who are not witnessed, who are not heard or acknowledged for their needs. If you were around people who were unable to regulate their emotions, then by you speaking up, you're going to cause a fuss or be a complicated child, and so you'd rather not be seen. So this is how these patterns begin to form. So as a female, you are very likely to find yourself with a partner who doesn't like complicated women, because it is those complicated women that have those needs, that have established those boundaries. If they never got the opportunity to learn what it meant to be seen, heard, witnessed as a child, he or they are not going to be able to acknowledge you the same way that they lack the ability to acknowledge themselves.